Chat, I look like somebody's mom. I am somebody's mom. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Ray, and we're back again with another video. And in today's video, we're back again with my Ray's Mommy Chronicles episode 2. This is going to be a 3-part series about my whole pregnancy experience. I'm going to be talking about my pregnancy itself, my birth, and then my postpartum. So this is episode 1, and we're going to be talking about the pregnancy. So I have a few questions written down so I can kind of stay on topic and I'm not talking around in circles. I'm going to be inserting pictures and videos to kind of just like give you guys the inside feel or anything like that I took throughout all that. But let's get right into it. Let's not waste no time. Okay, so basically let's just start it from the beginning. Oh my god, my pregnancy was like it was crazy, and I'm very like in tune with my body. Like if something's off, like I will instantly know. Okay, if my eye starts hitting, I'm gonna cry that day or soon. If my mouth starts hitting, I'm going to get into an argument with somebody. If just like little things like that, like my body gives me signs if something's about to happen, if that makes sense. I'm not like psychic or anything, but I'm just like really in tune with my body. So I like, you would think like my cycle is the first flag to tell me like, oh yeah, you're pregnant. No, okay, I the first thing that let me know that something was off was the fact that I was eating more than I usually eat. I usually eat like 1 time a day. It's usually a big meal, and then I'm good off that. But it was like this one random day I was at my mom's house and she made me like an egg sandwich. She made me an egg sandwich, y'all. I ate this egg sandwich. It was a big old bread, like those sub breads, Subway $6 foot long sandwiches. Yeah, it was one of them. But she gave me half of it. I ate it, and then I was like, I'm still hungry. Like, I feel like you ain't really give me nothing for real. I'm still hungry. And she's just like, girl, is you sure you good? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, okay, let's take a test. So we took a test, came out negative. I'm like, girl, you tripping. Like, I'm cool. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was the first time. And then the second time, I was like, okay, that time my mom called me out. This time I was like, okay, now I know for sure something's not right, because I was just like, I feel off. Like something's just not right. I just feel off. And I'm like, someone's telling me to go take that. When people say, I've seen these videos where people are like, it's the women's intuition. They know. So that's what it was. I just knew. I was like, I think it's something baking in the oven. So I'm pretty sure. So I was like, okay, it was around the time my cycle was supposed to be happening. That was like, it was like so many like things that was telling me like something is up. But the biggest thing that was just like, yeah, something's up for real. This was a new feeling. I told y'all when my eye hit, I'm about to cry, my mouth hit, I'm about to argue. My stomach was hitting. Your girl was pregnant. I was like, damn. Okay. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ignore this. I'm gonna ignore this. I'm not even about to get into it with that. I'm just about to ignore it. I'm like, all right, cool. I was like, if my cycle don't come tomorrow, I'm just about to take the test. My cycle did not come tomorrow. I took the test. It was positive. I took another test. It was positive. I took 3 tests. It was positive. I took another. It was positive. Damn, your girl's pregnant. I don't know how I ended up going to the hospital, but I think I went to like my first appointment or whatever, and then I was like, okay, yeah, I'm pregnant. What's next? It was like, okay, yep, you are pregnant. Now you have to start scheduling your I don't know what they were called. I just have to start making appointments. They said I have to find a doctor, I have to do all these things, and I'm just like, y'all got me messed up. Like, I don't know, but that's what you're supposed to do so they could keep track of the baby, make sure you good, prepare for your birth, all that. So I went to the doctor. They confirmed it. It was cool beans. After that, it was just appointments every single month. So that's how I found out I was pregnant. I was scared. I was genuinely scared as frick. Like, I was terrified, but like I was prepared. It just was like it felt fake. Like I'm like no way, like it's actually happening. It's one thing when you're like, oh yeah, when this happens, I'm gonna be ready for it, and then it's another thing when it actually happens, and you're like, shit. I don't mean to cuss, but like it was dead serious. Like what's going on? My husband was like really like chill about it, which was really irritating me because I was stressing out, which it shouldn't have. Like we have a good dynamic. I'm just like all like and he's all like, so it works. But it was just one of those things where I'm just like, how are you so calm? Like we about to have a baby. Hello, just now he's like yes, I knew it. I'm like, well, you ain't know nothing. But whatever, I guess. He was just chill about it. Like he was like excited, but it was just like one of those things where it was trying to make sure I am calm. So he was calm. I was gonna tell everybody, but at the time we was going on a trip. So it was just like one of those things where it was like, um, we'll worry about this when we come back type stuff. So I told the family, I think after, that's when everybody found out, after our trip and everything, because I'm just like, right now we worried about other things. Ain't no time to be announcing no type of pregnancies. I didn't have, like I said in my last video, I didn't really have like morning sickness and all that. I feel like my first trimester was my best trimester. I was at peace. Like I was at peace. I was getting all the sleep that I wanted. Like I was just so sleepy though. Like I'm a really like rowdy person. Like I like flipping. I like going out. I like doing all these things. And let me just say my pregnancy set me the heck down real quick. All that jumping around, all that trying to go outside, do this, do that, sit down. That's literally what my pregnancy does. Sit down. So I immediately was like, this sucks. Like I have to be like cautious of everything that I do. Like this is not me. Like I'm like jumpy. I like doing all types of crazy stuff. I'm like really active and everything. So now I have to just sit down. It sat me down real quick. My whole first trimester sleep was all I was getting. Like I felt good. It felt like it wasn't even real. Like I had to keep saying like, dang, I'm really pregnant. Like, dang, I'm really pregnant. And then also it's like the first trimester, like you don't really have a bump. So it's like you're not really feeling nothing. It's just like you cautious in your head, like, oh, I have a baby. The only time I would realize like for real, I had a baby was when I went to my appointments and then, they do the ultrasound and I'm like, dang. And even then, like the baby wasn't like fully formed. I'm just looking like at a little thing, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's my baby. And they're like, oh, there's the head, and I'm looking like, I don't see what you're saying, babe, but period, there's the head. Second trimester, that's where like it started getting interesting. Like I'm like, now the baby's starting to form. I'm starting to feel kicks, but the only problem with that was every time I was trying to show people kicks and like have them feel it, they couldn't feel it because like baby was so small. So it's like it wasn't like when he got bigger towards like the third trimester, it was like he would kick and it would just be like I could feel it. It felt like little flutters, and I thought I was tripping because I'm like, hey, feel this, and they're like, I don't feel nothing. I'm like, like damn, like y'all can't feel what I'm feeling, but like he in there kicking me. Like I'm telling you, like I'm not crazy. I'm talking. I can see baby's legs. I can see everything. Like I could actually see when he's kicking me, even though it was still kind of small. It was like I could actually see what's going on. Like I could see what the doctor is talking about. Like, oh, there's his head. There's this. There's that. There's that. But I think this is where they started telling me like, oh, I had what's it called, digestional diabetes or something. It's like the diabetes that come with pregnancy. So they're like, oh, it's cool, it's just you got to keep your blood pressure down and all that, and your blood sugar down, got to keep everything together, because like when this happens, basically like there's a higher chance of you getting induced. And I'm like, I'm cool, I don't know what y'all talking about. The only reason why they said that the my blood pressure was high is because they gave me a blood pressure cup and it was reading completely wrong, because every time I would go to the hospital my blood pressure would be fine, but it's like when I was here and I was reading, it was giving me all types of crazy numbers, so they thought I had high blood pressure and I didn't. I was cool, but no, the thing was just like reading so bad and my numbers were so bad that they were like, yeah, you have high blood pressure. So having high blood pressure and then having diabetes, it just was all together bad. They're like, oh, something could happen to the baby. Woo, 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 scaring me, talking about once you get to your last 10 weeks, like there's a high chance that you're gonna get induced at 35 weeks or 37 weeks, or like just get induced before your due date. And I'm just like, I'm cooling. As long as baby is cool, it's no reason for y'all to sit here and try to induce me. Like I'm cool. Like I'm healthy as can be. Like I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know what y'all talking about. So, but like I would come to my appointments and they weren't seeing nothing. Like there was no complications with my baby. There was no complications with my baby. There was nothing wrong with him. He was growing healthy. Alhamdulillah, he was growing healthy. There was everything was just reading good. His movements, all of that, there was nothing like concerning for them to even move to that, but they were already prying on that. They were already like mentally preparing for that and stuff like that. And basically I was considered high risk pregnancy at this point. So they wanted to like keep a close eye on me, and they had me going to appointments back to back to back to back. The doctor told me at one of my appointments, she was like, you do you know the gender? It's a boy. Okay, babe. Thanks for telling me. Second trimester was like, I didn't want no issues, bro. Like I don't want no problems with nobody. I didn't want no conflict with nobody. I didn't want none of that. Like I just wanted to be at peace. I wanted to be at peace, but like every little thing was just making me so sad. Like I just wanted to cry. Like it was just like it was so much going on. It was so much going on. And the moment at that time I wanted peace, and I had everything but peace. Everything but peace. I hated that. I hated that for me. But yeah, that was the hardest part of my pregnancy. Like the diabetes and the high blood pressure was just like stressing me so much, because it's like I don't want to be induced. I don't want my baby to be forced out before his time came. Like I just wanted to have a regular pregnancy. And I had a home nurse who would come and check up on me and all that. And she was like, me and her was talking about vaginal birth. We never got into like the nitty gritty. Like I was mentally preparing myself for a vaginal birth, that I didn't do enough research when it came to like, C-sections or anything like that. Even though they told me like, oh, there's a high possibility that you was going to get induced and all that, I'm just like, no, I'm going to keep holding them back. And I talked to my actual nurse practitioner. I was talking to her, and she was the most understanding. Like she was with me throughout my whole pregnancy. So with her, it was like, when I told her like, no, I'm not trying to get induced, she was understanding. Like I kept avoiding it, and I was like, I'm not about to let them do this to me. I'm just gonna try to have a vaginal birth and let my baby come on his own time, rather than them trying to force my body to do something that it wasn't ready to do. So I was doing my biggest avoiding that. Like I said, my first semester, I keep saying semester. Why am I thinking about school? Yeah. Also, while I was pregnant, I was taking classes, and that wasn't good for my mental either, because I was stressed and I was going back and forth with my freaking professor. I wouldn't recommend going to school unless your mental can go with it. Like I wouldn't recommend going to school while being pregnant. It's too much. Like you don't need no type of stress, no none of that. Like you need peace. That's all you need. You need peace. The stress is just gonna make everything worse. You're gonna be emotional, you're gonna be crying, you're gonna be going through the worst time ever, because it's like, yo. My third trimester, I had a baby shower. My baby shower is so amazing. I got so many gifts from my village. I appreciate every single one of the people that showed up, and I appreciate every single person that went out their way to go get baby gifts, me gifts, all of that. Like I love my village. I love y'all, John, and I appreciate y'all. And shout out to you guys, because y'all are the bestest. Love y'all. This is where it started. Like they started trying to like induce me and stuff. Like every single time I go to my appointment, they're like, oh, we're thinking about scheduling your induction day. Like, how do you feel about that? I'm like, no, I'm not going for it. Okay, we're thinking about scheduling your induction day. How do you feel about that? No, I'm not going for it. Is my baby okay? Yes. Am I okay? Yes. Okay, then there's no reason for us to be induced. Hello? Like, why are we trying to force that on me? And like I said, my doctor, she was like, oh my God, sorry. I'm going all over the place. They gave me these medications. I didn't take any of them. They gave me prenatal vitamins. I did not take any of them. One of them was making my stomach hurt. I did not like how that felt. Like it was to the point where I had to go to the ER, because I'm like, my stomach hurt and I don't feel good. And no offense to like any like male nurses or anything like that. I just feel like the guy that they had up there labor and delivery in the front desk. He was so insensitive. Like, I went up there because I'm like, I don't know what it was. Something was wrong with me. Oh, my hearing. I could not hear for nothing. And I looked it up and they said like that sometimes those could be some side effects of being pregnant and stuff like that. So I went up to labor and delivery because I literally was like, last time when I went to the emergency room for something else, I don't remember what it was, they sent me immediately to labor and delivery because they're like, okay, like we're gonna take you up there and we're gonna make sure everything's good with the baby, and if it's the baby's cool, like whatever. So I'm like, instead of just going to the ER, I'm just gonna go to labor and delivery. I went to labor and delivery, and he's like, you came up here because your ears hurt. That got nothing to do with you being pregnant. And I'm just like, well, I didn't know if I was supposed to go to the ER or come up here. Last time I went to the ER, they sent me up here anyways. So I just want to make sure my baby is okay. If my baby is okay, then y'all can just send me down there. Like, what's wrong with that? And he was just like, okay, that's not a pregnancy issue though. So, and I'm like, okay, bro. But like I said, it was just like so many like stupid people just being so like insensitive, like being so rude, like for no reason. Like there was no reason for it. Anyways, it was just one of those things. I'm like, every little thing was like hurting my feelings. Like that made me sad because I'm like, you're making me feel dumb right now. I'm just trying to make sure nothing's happening with the baby because I can't hear out my ear. I don't know what's going on, and this never happened to me before. And when I looked it up, they said, yeah, that could be something wrong with your baby. So make sure the baby's straight, and you could just set me back down. Like, what are we talking about? So yeah, all these bad news, all these horrible things, all this drama, just so much things happening. And they're telling me I have to start doing insulin. I wasn't doing none of that stuff because I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with me, ain't nothing wrong with this baby. It's just y'all trying to make me put stuff inside my body. My whole thought process is just my parents, like all the people back home, don't have none of these medications and they have healthy, good babies. All this stuff that y'all want us putting in our bodies, I don't think it's necessary. Our bodies are meant to build and take care of a baby. So all this extra stuff that y'all want us doing, I just feel like it's so unnecessary. And that's how I felt. Because I'm just like, there's no reason for me to be taking this. I took the vitamin and it started hurting my stomach. I stopped taking the vitamin. My stomach wasn't hurting no more. You think I'm going to take any more of y'all stuff? No. What are we talking about? I started taking their insulin. My blood sugar started going down. I stopped taking their insulin. My blood sugar was fine. It just felt like all the stuff that they were giving me to quote unquote help was just making the situation worse. So I stopped taking them. And then when I go over there, I started giving them fake numbers and stuff. I'm not going to lie to y'all because it's like, I don't want to keep putting this stuff inside me, knowing that it's making the situation worse. So my third trimester was just a matter of that. And then, like I said, they were just like paying closer attention to me. They had me scheduled back to back. I had to come twice a week, and they had me going like on Tuesdays for an ST appointment where they're just like, it's a non-stress test and they're trying to make sure the baby is not stressed in there and checking on the baby's movement, make sure he's like moving a good amount and he's cool in there. And then the other one was the, what's it called, ultrasound one. I feel like the NST was kind of like useless because like I couldn't even really see the baby, so it's just like we're just sitting there listening to him kick. Hated it. I mean, it was good to know like my baby's good. It was good to hear his heartbeat. It was good to feel his movement, but it's like I already experienced this at home. I like it better when we're doing the ultrasound because it's like I can see his growth. I can see his big old head. I can see his little legs. I can see all that. So I like my ultrasound appointments way better. So knowing that I had to see him, I got to see him every week. Knowing that I got to see him every week made me like really excited. I had something to look forward to. So it was that. Once I got to my 30s, yeah, that was like the last 10 weeks. That's when they like was amping it up every single week. Now I'm gonna be, oh, you want us to induce you? No. You want us to schedule your induction date? No. I'm just trying to wait until his due date come, and then that's when I'll have my baby. Okay. The only reason why I'll be interested in being induced is if he's in there over baking. Other than that, I don't want to be induced. Okay. Next appointment, same thing. Next appointment, same thing. I got to my 37 weeks. Mind you, that Tuesday I went to my NST and they're like, NST, and it was like my baby was due that week after. He was due that week after, and they're like, "Oh, we have you scheduled to be induced already." Mind you, I never agreed to being induced. I never agreed to no appointment. I never scheduled an appointment. So what are we talking about? And when I was like doing research, they said that they like inducing people because then they're like able to prepare and be ready rather than your baby just popping up and then now they have to go trying to find an extra nurse, extra doctor, and all that. So I'm like, so y'all already was plotting on me. Y'all was just asking me for the fun of it. Y'all didn't really care what I said to y'all. So it was, what was it? Yeah, so it was like that week before my baby was due. The week before my baby was due, I went to my regular appointment and they're talking about, "Oh yeah, we have you scheduled this weekend to have your baby." I'm like, I don't know nothing about that. Cool. That next Thursday I come, they're like, "Okay, we have you scheduled to come this Saturday to be induced," and I'm like, I don't know nothing about that. And then she talking about, "Oh, your blood pressure is really high." It was mild, but she was like, "It's really high, and we don't know nothing about your blood sugar." They're like, "We don't know how your blood sugar is because you're not keeping track of the logs." That's because I wasn't taking y'all insulin and I wasn't poking myself with that needle. But I was like, "Oh, I ran out of like the little things, and that's why I wasn't able to keep track, and I wasn't able to go pick up the stuff that I need for that." So they're like, "Okay, well, because your blood pressure is high, and we have no idea where your blood sugar levels are at, we're gonna have you get induced today." I look at my husband, he looks at me. I look at the doctor looks at me. I'm like, "Is something wrong with the baby?" She's like, "Nothing's wrong with your baby, but I don't feel comfortable letting you leave this hospital right now." And I'm like, "I don't want to be induced." She was like, "Well, we feel like you are already a high risk pregnancy, and now like your blood sugar is high, and then your blood pressure is high, and your blood sugar is, we don't know where." Mind you, last time I went to the ER, they literally just poked me and checked my blood sugar. She could have just poked me and checked my blood sugar, but she didn't want to do that because she was plotting on me. I don't care because like my actual doctor, I literally saw her the week before and she told me, "You want to schedule your induction day?" And I said no. And she was like, "Okay, you are in control. Whatever you want to do is what we're gonna go with. But what we're gonna do is just suggest to you what you should do, and it's all up to you. You're the one who's in control." So I'm telling this lady I don't want to get induced, and she's looking at me like, "Well, I don't feel comfortable letting you go." And then it's that fear that they put in you, like, "Oh, something's probably wrong with your baby, da da da, all this." And I'm just like, I don't want to get induced. Can I just come back on Saturday? At this point, I'm just trying to get out of the hospital so I can avoid. Because even on Saturday, I was not going to come back because my baby had one more week to still bake. Why are y'all trying to rush this process? Like, you guys are not God. What are we talking about right now? So the lady's like, "Oh, well, I don't feel comfortable letting you leave." I'm like, "Oh, forget all that. I'm gonna call my mom." I call my mom. I'm like, "Mom, they're saying my blood pressure is high and they're trying to make me have this baby today." She's like, "Oh, what's wrong with the baby?" I'm like, "Nothing's wrong with the baby and I'm fine, but they're telling me something is wrong and something could get bad and da da all this." And my hands were tied basically. Like I felt like I was being pressured, and it was just one of those things. Like I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like asking my mom, I'm like, "What should we do? What should we do?" And she's just like, "Ask them if you could come back on Saturday." I'm like, "Can I just come back on Saturday?" They're like, "We don't even feel comfortable letting you leave." It's given they're about to like tie me up to a chair and I'm stuck in a hospital. Like, what are we talking about right now? So she's like, "We don't feel comfortable letting you leave. Like, I feel like I will be doing you a disservice for letting you leave this hospital knowing that you're in this condition." I'm like, "I feel fine though. Like, I don't want to be induced." I'm getting teary eyed at this point because I'm like, I don't want to be induced. And they're like, "Well, your baby could be like, we got to make sure your baby's good. Then do an ultrasound." Why do I have to get induced? Do an ultrasound. Mind you, the day before that, literally that night, no, not that night, the night before, I literally was feeling contractions, but I didn't know they were contractions. I already started losing my mucus plug, so labor was starting, but they weren't trying to let my body do its thing. They were like trying to rush the process. I feel like if I just let my body do its thing and I was to avoid this hospital, I would have still had my baby when I had my baby. But Allah had different plans. It was written differently. regardless of it, my baby made it out safe. They're already preparing for me to go to the room. They already got my room ready, actually. I feel like they knew I wasn't going to show up to that induction date. I feel like they did, because it's no way they trapped me at my regular appointments. They're going to get the wheelchair. This is where the birth story begins. Thanks for tuning into this very first episode of this 3-part series. That is basically a summary of my pregnancy. To break it down, first trimester peace, second trimester no peace, third trimester hell. That's just the best way to summarize it. Thanks for tuning in into this episode. I'll see you guys in the next. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I post another video. Bye.